the whole reason that the Fourth Amendment was passed, right? Like British soldiers were breaking into people's houses and then just like fucking with people's shit, right? The whole reason that the Fourth Amendment was passed was to prevent stuff like that, right? So the idea that we're fine with ICE officers breaking into private property with no signature from a judge just because we're not enforcing the INA, like lock in, get your priorities straight. This is the Constitution, big dog.
Quite frankly, you need to subscribe to Rinnycast.
He's like, for no reason, he revoked TPS for Afghanis. The Somali stuff, I'm pretty sure, is literally just because of the Nick Shorty video in Minnesota. Like, he just doesn't like migrants. On his first term, he ran on banning Muslims from entering the country. He's saying that immigrants are poisoning the soul of the country. He's saying that Asian migrants are eating the cats, the dogs, the pets. Like,
well, also, just look at how he talks about immigration in general, right? I mean, like, he's been holding up like net negative migration as a good number to strive for, right? Like, it's everything that he ever says about immigration is talking about how we need less of it. That it's not conducive to promoting legal immigration either.
Well, I mean, really fast, I just want to add in that, like, he has literally broken down, like, the immigration courts by putting judges either on hold or firing them. He's fired, I think, up to 100 immigration judges, and there's only 700 immigration judges entirely. And those are the individuals responsible for even citizenship passage or the removal thereof.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
I think TPS and these judges are under the executive branch. So it's up to the executive branch if Trump wants to fire or hire any judges.
It's not how that works.
First term, he actually increased federal judges.
The attorney general removes
immigration
them.
judges. Yeah, but that's all the executive branch. It's all under his control. He controls the executive branch, right?
That's not necessarily true.
But by the way, even if we grant that, the argument isn't does he have the legal authority to do it? Like, why is he doing it? And we're saying that it's because he's against migration. So Trump doesn't really care about the law like he has. Right. Like, the law is just something in the way.
Also, just to be clear, he doesn't have the legal authority to just remove whoever he wants in the executive branch. That's not a power of the president.
Well, the executive courts he does.
No. Judge blocks Trump administration from ending temporary protected status for Asians. This is from a week ago.
And his removal power within the executive branch largely depends on the position that they hold. And in this case, he doesn't have power over the federal judges, over the immigration judges, however, but the attorney general does. So there's certain circumstances where he doesn't have control over the hiring or firing and whatnot, or the appointing, I guess.
It's under the DHS, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, but the attorney general is the individual who is able to remove these judges.
The immigration courts, because this is one of the things that I actually don't like about the way that the federal government does things, because, like, obviously it's expanded power, numerous presidential administrations, not just Trump, but everybody going back basically since World War II has expanded the power of the federal government. So that's why, like, I'm always in a position where the federal government should only be as big as necessary rather than making it this big giant monstrosity that it is. But the immigration courts, like, you'll have certain judges that will try to block certain actions that he does, and it's usually based off of, like, some really thin type of policy or, like, obscure interpretation of the law. And sometimes judges, they're not immune to bias, to being against it just because of the fact they want to subvert his immigration agenda.
And I
super disagree.
Yeah, like,
I think the amount of, like, the amount of novel legal theories compared between, like, the ones that are being used to strike down the Trump administration and the ones that the Trump administration are using. Like, Donald Trump literally floated suspending habeas corpus in order to prevent alien enemies from seeking the correct what's the word? Remedy. The correct remedy. So, I mean, like, the idea that the Trump administration is, like, something that adheres to law and that these immigration judges are just overstepping their boundaries, I think it's way more clear that the Trump administration is overstepping their boundaries.
For clarification, I don't think this are immigration judges that are blocking Trump. These are federal judges.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
these are federal judges under the judicial branch. His immigration courts aren't even under the judicial branch; they're under the
We know.
executive as
Yes,
well.
we know. By the
Correct.
way, like for example, right now, ICE for their policy to violate the Fourth Amendment, they're citing Lucas v. United States. Like it's a pretty niche case. It's a Eighth Circuit decision that was split in half, and the rationale doesn't even really relate to illegal migrants and their Fourth Amendment rights. Like that's what the Trump administration is doing. Their legal defense right now in these court cases is pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. And this is the case for like most of their policy, realistically. Like all of the rationales that they've been giving for like their crazy off the wall invocation of executive power is just fucking insane. And the idea that this
Oh
is
yeah. Essentially, every single argument boils down to at this point. Yeah, the Article 3 courts don't have authority. AAUP, that's the defense. I'm pretty sure that the WMM or JJG v. Trump in the Fifth Circuit right now, that's their argument to the circuit. Uh, there's like a bunch of cases like this. Even the Kilmore Garcia case was this type of stuff.
yeah,
I just want to
basically.
make a case for what I think the actual issue is. It's not so much like immigration in its whole, it's these people coming here for asylum. And we see like upwards of 60-70% don't qualify for asylum. We have one political party that wants to accept everybody as asylum seekers, and the other party that wants to be a lot more stringent. We get like 8 billion people on the planet. How many asylum seekers are you willing to take into the country?
I'm sorry,
We see
your
states-
your
Sorry,
framing
can you
is
show me a
States-
stat to back that up?
well, just to be clear, this framing is also just
To
not
back
true,
what
right?
up?
The Republicans don't want to be more stringent on asylum rights. They want to eliminate asylum rights essentially, right? That's why Donald Trump put a $500 fee in front of seeking asylum that essentially makes it so any legitimate asylum seeker can't, because they're not going to be able to front that fee.
Exactly, and he also induced extra filing costs for refugees as well.
Yeah, so it's just bullshit, the idea that the Republicans just want less asylum seekers. You want no asylum seekers, right? Or at least the Republican apparatus does.
We want the people that actually qualify for asylum.
No, you
What
don't.
qualifies for asylum?
Someone who fears due to political or religious reasons.
So if
Yeah,
that was
prosecution.
if that was the case, why would you put a $500 fee in front of seeking asylum? Do you think that somebody who's like a political prisoner coming from El Salvador is going to be able to front up a $500 fee?
Yeah, do you think they have money if they're under prosecution? Do you think if that they had this excess, wealth, that they would even be in this situation, or at least not even in this situation, or be capable of getting out of it at least?
But
Like
it
they
still
have to be in
begs the
desperate
question,
situation to be able
how
to
many
claim
people-
asylum.
How many people do you think should be able to claim asylum? And do you
As
think we
many
should
need
just,
it. As many as need it.
I think it shouldn't be capped on a certain number because it's based on who needs it.
Yes.
So
It's
we
humanitarian.
have instances like New York, who got a bunch of these immigrants and said they don't have the infrastructure for it. And the reason we limit immigration is because we have to have the necessary infrastructure to support them. You saw
Wait,
New York.
weren't Republicans literally sending buses of migrants
Yes,
to
it
New
wasn't.
York?
Yes, to be
Literally.
clear, yeah, it wasn't New York saying we don't have the infrastructure. It was New York saying we don't have the infrastructure for Texas to send a bunch of illegal immigrants on a bus to us. Right?
Like
The
Texas
problem
and
isn't with New
Florida
York. The
and
problem
Missouri
is
City.
the problem
They
isn't with
kinda
New York.
opened
The problem
themselves
isn't
up
with
for it.
Texas. Or the problem isn't with New York. The problem isn't with the policy. The problem is with Texas, right?
Exactly.
But they went to New York, right?
Yeah, because
New
the
York-
Texas
No, I understand the
governor
premise
shipped
of
them
what
all
you're
there.
saying.
Yeah.
Or we can even look at like what happened in Martha's Vineyard. They raised $16 million to get those people off.
Off
But
what?
if they're a net positive to an economy, like the left says it is, then what do you mean you can't accept these people?
It
They are
depends. I'm
positive.
saying that one state can't take the entire country's illegal immigrants. That's why I'm saying that Texas shouldn't have shipped them all to New York. It's silly to expect one state or one city to take like the entire load of immigrants. That's just obviously that's not going to be good. But the question is,
But
why
you
did
just
Texas
said
ship
that
them
there
out?
shouldn't be a limit.
Yeah,
We either have a limit or we don't.
that's
Which one
not.
is it?
I'm saying that states shouldn't be shipping their illegal or their immigrants to a different state for no reason.
So, okay, just to kind of remove the state shipping aspect of it, let's say, for instance, they let people come in through the border into Texas or whatever, and those migrants naturally move into those states. It's still the same problem. You still have limited amount of resources. Like these small Texas towns with a population of 600 people have been dealing with illegal immigration for decades.
Yeah, but the thing
And
it's not natural. It's
Yes.
artificial. They're sending as many people as possible to New York where they
Yeah.
Yes,
know that this will happen.
right,
It's
but
the difference is
in
that
It's not like a
natural,
natural
it's
migration. It's very
na-
artificial when you put
and
all of them in a fucking bus and say you're going to New York and
yes,
not
and
allowing any of them the choice to stay.
natural
I-
migration doesn't work like that either. It's not going to be the
Yeah.
case that there's going to be like a giant load of people who come in all at once without the infrastructure being prepared for them in a natural way. The only thing that's going to cause that is like some sort of like hurricane, which I would say we shouldn't refuse service to people just because there's a hurricane, right? Or like some artificial thing like Texas being like baby bitches about how many people are coming in because they don't like brown people and then shipping them off to a city, right?
and,
Well, what
and see,
California
that's
loves
actually
brown
one
people,
particular
right?
thing.
California is a sanctuary state. They have an issue where they require about 180,000 houses be built per year, but only about 90,000 are being built. Yet on the flip side, they're having 130,000 immigrants move to California per year.
What's
Yeah,
a
so
sanctuary
why-
state? Tell me what it means.
Yeah. So it's not like they don't want brown people.
Why is
they
the
want-
Tell me what a
why-
sanctuary
But
state
there's already
means.
deficiencies in
Tell me what a
California.
sanctuary state means, please.
So like the California Values Act.
No, tell me what a
2000
sanctuary state is.
So it would be a state that passed a policy like the California Values Act in 2017.
Which does.
what does that do?
The California Values Act restricts local law enforcement from reporting immigrants that have committed crimes to ICE agents.
Okay, see, this is like the biggest, like, I think misunderstanding with the whole premise of this is that you guys believe that these states are deciding to just prosecute individuals who commit violent crimes within their state who are undocumented and then just allow them to be released into society after. They do communicate afterwards
Why
that
did
they
they
are
pass the
undocumented.
California Values Act that actually restricts local
It
law enforcement?
restricts them from just taking them from those prisons.
Restricts
and
them
not
from
serving their
passing their
sentence.
immigration status or reporting them to ICE. Like if you read the California Values Act, that's literally what it does. So a sanctuary state would be a state or a city, even a sanctuary city, would be a district or region that passes laws that protects these people, that gives them some kind of state protection against federal law.
Essentially, that they're not going to cooperate with federal law enforcement on immigration is
All right.
essentially what the sanctuary states and cities are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But if you look at like, okay, because you know it's kind of easy to get lost in the weeds on it, but if you look at it historically, the asylum process has been kind of, I don't want to use the word hijack because it's kind of inflammatory, but I mean it's been manipulated into the point of we used to have less than 200,000 asylum claims a year, and now it's north of 1 million a year, and only about 30 to 35% of asylum claims are actually approved.
That's
So there's
that's certainly
obviously-
true. There is a problem with like fraudulent asylum seekers. That is certainly the case. The problem is that it just feels like crocodile tears when I hear it coming from Republicans, because I know for a fact the Republicans or Republican leadership do not give a fuck about asylum rights. It's not because that they want these people to seek asylum. They just want them to come the right way, because they're putting again, like there's no world where a $500 fee in front of an asylum claim fixes that problem. Right? All it does is just refuse the people who actually need asylum the ability to seek it, right?
Well,
And also, like, I think we need to, like, actually understand this really quick. Like, you do realize how individuals are processed within the criminal justice system. They still are reported, nevertheless. So it will be within, like, their booking. Like, when you book someone into jail, you get their fingerprints, their identity, and that's how that operation works, especially when it's in criminal court, when you go in front of a jury and a judge, especially when it's a felony level, crime. And so, like, they want that crime to be properly convicted within the state law, because an individual who does convict a crime or does commit a crime should be sentenced within the state, right? So why isn't it fair to just say that this individual should be processed, should be sentenced in the state court, and once they complete that sentence, they send that request over to ICE saying, hey, undocumented immigrant, they completed their sentencing and you may now have authority over this individual.
yeah. I have to go. I love you guys.
Love you,
Okay.
Platoon.
Bye.
So one other thing to kind of like elaborate more on just like the overall policy issue, because like I understand some of the concerns that people have about like legal process being followed in order to properly deport people, but why is it that we focus on that now, but a lot of people, like half the country, essentially ignored the fact that the Biden administration was not enforcing border laws. I mean,
It's just not the case. The Biden
Yeah.
administration was deporting people. Like, it was a little looser on how they would enforce people showing up for their asylum court dates, but like that's it's just not the same. Hey, like I would much rather a less heavy-handed government than a incredibly more heavy-handed government, right? I think the threat for tyranny is a lot stronger when you have the government violating people's rights to get immigrants out rather than not arresting people who don't show up to their asylum court date, right? I would much prefer the case that people's due process rights aren't being robbed.
I mean, I was probably overstating by saying that he just didn't enforce immigration law, because yes, there were some deportations that happened under his administration, but it was abysmally low compared to previous administrations. Obviously, Obama deported people like crazy, and the first Trump administration, they did a lot of deportations as well. But Biden, basically, until the 4th year in office, didn't really enforce it very much. It was
that's
like
actually
tens
not
of
true.
thousands.
That's like literally not true. If you look at literally Homeland Security's like data, they show that he even had more detention, more arrests, and more deportations or removals, I guess, than Trump's first year. And they break it down in each year individually when they evaluate it. So each year was higher than even Trump's first year of his second term.
So, looking at it right here,
I can pull it up as well.
deportations for 2021 was 59,000 for Biden's first year. 2022 was 72,000. 2023 was 142,000, and 2024 was 271,000, because immigration was becoming a political issue, which is when they started trying to pass their bipartisan border bill, where they said that they needed to pass that in order to enforce border laws. And then Trump's first day in office, you just see a massive drop.
Well, to be clear, let's be real as to why the massive drop under Trump happened, right? It's because Donald Trump was like running on fucking alligator Alcatraz, right? He already was making indications that he was going to invoke the Alien Enemies Act. He signed an executive order day one to shut down all physical entry across the southern border, including asylum, and then it got struck down by the courts. So like, let's not pretend like Donald Trump came in like Jesus Christ and stopped all the encounters, right? He did it by doing illegal action.
Well, no, I mean, the day that he was inaugurated, like before he even really officially put policy out, you already saw the drop. I mean, people, they already had people staged at, border crossings at ports of entry and everything to officially stop it until he could officially start pushing forth policy.
Sure, because Donald Trump is incredibly inhumane toward immigrant populations. It doesn't shock me that we would see a dip in the amount of immigration when we elect anti-immigration Andy, right?
But it's anti-illegal immigration, not
no.
legal
It's
immigration.
it is anti-immigration Andy, right? Like, he appointed Stephen Miller as his senior advisor in regard to immigration policy. He's holding up net negative migration as a positive policy indicator. This person is not somebody who wants more immigration. All of the arguments that he makes against immigration or against illegal immigration apply to legal immigrants. It's not the case that Donald Trump just wants illegals out. He wants a decrease in immigration.
Okay, I just want to show you this really quick. This is ICE government/stats, and this is removals. So when we see 2023, we see 2024, which both of these are under. These are like the way that they actually calculate the dates is under Biden, and this is Trump.
Yeah.
So you are literally incorrect.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if we're
That's
talking
removals.
about,
And then also we can look at detention. So you're wrong.
well, detentions aren't the same thing as deportations. If they're only
Removals.
detaining people, but they're not going to deport
I
them.
understand that. Removals. And this is detention. This is arrest. Yeah. I just wanted to fact check that because you're wrong.
No, that wasn't. It's okay.
Yeah, you were. It's okay.
No, that's all right.
That's so
We're cherry
cute.
picking now.
I'm literally on ICE's website. I don't know how I'm cherry picking.
Yeah, so am I. And
How am I
it
cherry
is-
picking? Wait, Ryan, am I cherry picking? Am I twisted?
I
because
can't tell what the claim even is in order to tell.
Let me elaborate. So far throughout Trump's administration, he has been trying to do deportations, but ICE is constantly being interrupted in multiple cities across the country because you have
Based.
state and local officials, due to sanctuary policies, that don't want to enforce or support them enforcing immigration law.
Based, by the way.
Whenever they had no problems doing it under the Biden administration or the Obama administration, even though it's the exact same process of deporting people. So
No,
whenever
it's
you're
not the
having
same
to fight
process.
against cities-
It is certainly not the same process. Donald Trump, again,
Yeah,
has been
definitely not the
incredibly
same.
heavy-handed in the way that he's been trying to invoke immigration authority. It's not the same process at all.
But that's because state and local officials aren't going to cooperate with them, so they have to take extra measures to try to
No,
do
it's
it.
not. He signed that executive order trying to suspend all physical entry over the southern border on day one. So it's not because the states weren't working with him. He did it from the very get-go, right? Like it's been no mystery that Donald Trump was going to be incredibly heavy-handed on immigration. It's not the case that the states are just like committing some sort of obstruction operation against the Trump administration. It's just that the Trump administration is incredibly heavy-handed in his immigration enforcement. The population doesn't like it because we're seeing people literally get murdered at this point. So, I mean, yeah, it's not shocking to me that the states don't want to go down with the sinking ship of the Trump administration and helping him enforce these fucking mass deportation efforts, which are stupid in the first place. There's no reason why we should be doing them.
But they had the sanctuary policies before Trump even was in office. Like, they still had the sanctuary city policies even when Biden was in office. But it's the fact that you have state and local officials that are not willing to help the federal government enforce federal immigration law, I think is borderline traitorous. Like, it's ridiculous that we're going to let people...
What's the argument for that?
Well, because you're ignoring federal immigration law. The states are
You're not
supposed
ignoring-
to cooperate with the federal government.
You're not
whenever it comes
ignoring
to-
federal immigration law. You're just not giving people to ICE.
That's not cooperation. I mean, it's the same thing.
You have no obligation to cooperate with the federal government.
So you don't think that it's any type of dereliction of duty for
Nope.
government officials in states
There is
and
no
local government
federal
to
law
ignore it?
that makes the states obligated to comply with.
States' rights, by the way.
I would say that what makes you derelict of your duty is watching all of these ICE officers and your principal officers signing memos saying that you can enter a home, private property, without an impartial magistrate signature, and then just saying that that's good. Like, I think that's way more of an argument for derelict of your duty, right? Or sending people to CCOT and then realizing that you sent somebody illegally and then just throwing your hands up and saying that I'm not going to bring him back because he's not a good hombre, right? I think that's way more derelict of your duty. I think that the states are actually incredibly patriotic for not helping enforce Donald Trump's insane fucking deportation policy because he's dog shit at it. He's terrible at doing it. All of the policy that he's been trying to do is incredibly inhumane, and the states should not go along with this like fucking borderline authoritarian crazy shit that Donald Trump is doing to trample on people's constitutional rights. I think that's what the states should be doing. There's no reason to be cooperating with ICE, who's literally shooting people in the streets.
So if we're going to hem-haw back and forth on like whether or not we're following certain procedures, why is it that we're okay with people manipulating the asylum system to come into the country illegally?
I'm not okay with
and
that.
We're not following.
I'm not okay with fraudulent asylum claims. The problem is that you guys aren't trying to seriously fix that problem. You're trying to hide behind that as a thing that we can meet in the middle on. But the fact of the matter is that you don't want to reform the asylum system to make it so fraudulent claims are less common. You want people to not be able to seek asylum or make it like feasibly impossible for people to seek asylum. So I'm not
That's
like
a
super,
projection. I
I'm not
didn't make
super
that claim.
interested. That's what the Republicans are doing right now. You voted for Donald Trump, no?
I did.
Okay, so I'm accurately characterizing you then. The Republicans do not want to make it easier for people to seek asylum. They want to make it virtually impossible. So I would be willing to like hold your hand and sing Kumbaya in the middle as soon as you pick like a serious candidate that actually wants to do all of the things that you're representing to me.
So we're okay with ignoring the law under Biden, and then when we try to enforce the law, it's
never said that.
anti-constitutional. It's against the law. It's
Wait. So
illegal
how is
and
it?
all that.
How is it enforcing the law to break into private property without a judicial warrant? How is that enforcing the law?
How is it in favor of the law to break into a country?
Not an answer. Not an answer.
illegally?
Non-answer.
No,
How-
it is. It is an answer.
How is
That's
that
an
answer to
wait.
his
So
question?
I asked you. Let's walk this back. I asked you, how is it enforcing the law to break into private property without the signature of a judge? And you asked me about asylum rights. How does that answer that question?
It doesn't.
No, it's because I'm using your own argument. It's like these people ignored the law.
Well, no,
to
you're
come into the
pivoting from my
country
question.
illegally.
I would like an answer to my question. How is it enforcing the law to tell ICE agents that they can break into private property with no judicial warrant?
I just hate the like
We're using
loose
an
reasoning.
administrative warrant.
Wait,
Real quick. I would like an answer to that, please.
They're
No,
using
it's.
administrative
I think that
Administrative
honestly,
warrants
the
aren't
way
signed
that
by
our-
judges. They're not impartial.
No, I agree with you on that. I just wanted to mention one noteworthy thing. In 2014,
Well, before you mention the
DCW
noteworthy thing, can I get an answer to the
You
question,
need to answer the
please?
question.
Can I get an answer to the question, please? How is that in
I'll tell you
furtherance
right
of
now, I
enforcing the
used to
law?
do
gave you an answer. I don't agree with administrative warrants being used.
No,
to
but I wasn't
No, we're
asking
not
you,
asking you a
respectfully. I wasn't
question.
asking you. I was asking the dude with the purple profile picture.
So
So
how
it's-
come you can work together to come up with these questions, but we can't work together to answer them?
Well,
Is there
because
an issue? Do you actually want an answer at that point?
well,
You're
I
just
haven't.
trying to
You
get a
haven't been
hot
talking the
gotcha.
entire time. I'm trying to ask this person a question.
If
He's
you haven't
interested
stopped
in.
talking,
Can you just allow him to answer and stop
Yeah,
pivoting?
yeah, bro. Just stop
You
white knighting,
haven't
buddy.
stopped talking long enough for me to speak.
Can you like
I've been
stop
trying
and
to
want
let
you
him
to speak. I'm
and then we
asking
can
somebody
move
else
on
a
to whatever you
question.
I
want?
raised my
Wait, hold on,
hand.
Coyote.
I raised my hand.
I'm asking
in the
somebody
chat.
else the
You already-
question,
hold on,
big
hold on,
dog.
hold on. Coyote, you already
Yeah.
said you don't agree. We're asking if Fresh agrees or disagrees with that.
Okay, so give me a sec. I'll respond. Now, as far as the administrative warrants are concerned, there is definitely concerns as far as entering private property, especially if it's an American citizen, things like that. Definitely a concern. However, the reason why I don't have as much of an issue with it is because of the fact that we've been taken advantage of for years. People exploiting the asylum system, people coming in just jumping the border illegally, overstaying visas, and multiple past administrations not doing their job on actually enforcing these laws. So I don't really have a lot of
So
care for people that want to, let's follow the process exactly for this, but not worry
Wait,
about
I'm
people
sorry,
following the process to come to the country legally.
You're fine with violating the Fourth Amendment in order to enforce the INA? Why? Isn't the Fourth
No,
Amendment kind of more important than the Immigration Nationality Act? Or am I
Yeah,
insane?
This just proves my prompt, by the way.
I have a question. I honestly don't know the answer, but does a local judge have to sign a judicial warrant to enter private property?
It has to be an impartial magistrate, so somebody that isn't directly involved with the case. I'm not certain about like what jurisdiction the judge needs to be. That's more a question for Dot, but
But I just want to imply that, like, or just insert this. But if the person consents, you can always consent to a search, which even absent of a warrant can make it legal. But in absence of consenting and in absence of a judicial warrant, then there is no lawful entry into that house. It's just impossible.
well,
Like,
because
you
that's
need to
the
either
whole
have
reason.
consent or a judicial warrant.
That's like
Or
the whole
both.
that's the whole reason that the Fourth Amendment was passed, right? Like British soldiers
Yeah.
were breaking into people's houses and then just like fucking with people's shit, right? The whole reason that the Fourth Amendment was passed was to prevent stuff like that, right? So the idea that we're
Yeah.
fine with ICE officers breaking into private property with no signature from a judge just because we're not enforcing the INA, like lock in, get your priorities
this-
straight. This is the Constitution, big dog.
Wait, but I just want to add really quick, and this notion that just because someone did something that was against the law doesn't mean we should go and do other legal, methods to, getting justice in your mind. Because like the standard that we hold for even criminal convictions, if someone literally, let's say, robbed something like a store, we are going to still invoke legal processes to convict them and sentence them, right? We're still going to have a court oversee the matter. We're still going to have a jury. We're still going to elect them an attorney.
juries for
We're still going to read them
deportation
their
hearings.
Miranda rights. We're going to still give them notice. Just because they committed a crime does not invoke lesser standards. I'm not done. Just because they convicted a crime, I'm not done. I'm really not done. I'm really not done. Thank you. Just because they committed a crime does not invoke lesser standards for
I
them.
know you're not done. The process of law doesn't mean we guarantee a judicial trial.
I know that if you're convicted of a felony, and I gave you a felony level example,
It's not guaranteed
you're breaking up so
judicial
much.
Yeah,
I
we can't-
cannot.
we
What I
can't
wanted
hear
to
you,
say
big
that
dog.
I do not know
relevant
anything
was
you're
that back in
saying.
2014,
Of course, when you're convicted of a misdemeanor, some misdemeanors do invoke a trial and a jury if it's over a year sentencing in jail. So all I'm saying is this: why would you use this like line of reasoning that just because someone committed an illicit act that we should drop our standards because it's only like an eye for an eye in that matter? It's not. It doesn't make sense in the criminal justice sense, and it doesn't make sense in the immigration sense. You still have to uphold the Constitution.
Which is a crazy thing that we even need to say that, by the way.
Yeah.
The Republic,
Right?
like, we're having a discussion about Donald Trump not caring about the law. We need to explain why, like, violations of immigration code by people seeking asylum doesn't justify spitting on the Fourth Amendment. Like,
Right?
come on,
Like-
guys.
But administrative warrants, while they are obviously legally valid for
Arrest.
enforcement of ICE,
For arrests, yeah.
Only arrest. It is only valid for an arrest, not an involuntary break into someone's residence or
right? So
their commercial property, even.
So if the given process right now is to use administrative warrants because it was decided by the executive branch, that's how the deportations would work. So essentially, somebody can enter private property and just claim, and just stay there in perpetuity.
No, the idea is that it's not
just
like
get a
you
warrant.
can't obtain a judicial warrant. It's pretty easy. It's that they're trying to escape oversight. That's the purpose. When you have an administrative warrant, that is signed within internal matters. That's signed within the agency. So no independent oversight is looking through that. And it seems like they're escaping that oversight because they're doing shady things.
So, I mean, like, just to be clear, I would like to know the argument for this. What is so bad about people overstaying visas that justifies getting rid of our Fourth Amendment rights?
Well, visa overstays are an entirely different thing. It's not the same thing as people entering the country illegally or under a false asylum claim. So there's definitely
What's so bad about
for
people
visa
entering the
overstays.
country? What's bad enough about people illegally entering the country that it justifies the government violating your Fourth Amendment rights?
Well, okay, let's.
God
let me
forbid
back
I'm
that just a little
Hispanic.
bit.
And then
So-
I have the probable cause because I look Hispanic and they can infer illegality as a result.
No, hold on, Dot. They're not using probable cause. They're using reasonable suspicion, all
sorry.
right? Don't give them too much credit.
True. That probable cause actually calls for independent, investigations.
come
they're
on,
not
come on.
fucking doing. Sorry, they just have to look at me and they're like, yep, you're illegal. Even if you had papers on you, we don't care.
Which also, by the way,
Yeah.
just to be sure, that is also illegal, and ICE leadership has literally been caught quoting saying that we don't use probable cause, we use reasonable suspicion. That's illegal, by the way. You can't arrest people
You
due
can't
to
arrest
reasonable
people.
suspicion,
Yeah.
but so
if
I
there's
just
an administrative.
yeah, go ahead.
So, regarding the difference between like administrative and judicial warrants, so say for instance you have a judge that is more of like an activist type, and they just keep denying all the judicial.
Then go to
warrants, so
another
now
judge.
they can-
This administration is known for finding one.
No, I'm sorry. And also, this idea about activist judges is such fucking horseshit. Like, this didn't
Yeah.
exist prior to,
Oh, come
to a
on.
year
You think
ago.
that doesn't exist? Come
This
on.
didn't exist
No.
prior to a year ago. It's an excuse for the administration to do a bunch of illegal shit, and then whenever they get called by a judge, they say, "Oh, it's an activist." And I ask, "Oh, what's wrong with the ruling?"
think
And then you
there's
just say,
no possibility that a judge would.
No,
would
I'm
have
saying
any bias
it's a
in that way.
made-up problem. The idea that you have to spit on people's Fourth Amendment rights and enter private property without a judicial warrant because of activist judges is just horseshit. And I don't know if you don't believe it or you're just stupid, but it's just not the case that this is a problem. I just can't.
Also-
I'm trying to determine whether or not you're lying to me or whether or not you're stupid.
Also, like, I just want you to be I just want you to be aware that like a magistrate is not like doesn't even have to have a legal background, really, right? Like they don't even need to go to law school. Like a magistrate is different from a judge. So they just need to get a magistrate to sign off on a judicial warrant in order to get that. So it is literally not that hard.
It's just cope because the administration can't do anything legally, so they use these buzzwords like, "Oh, activist judges." Like, what are you even signaling? That we should ignore the judicial branch because there's too many activists? Don't you think there's probably more activists saying that, like, isn't it more activists to say that we can ignore the Fourth Amendment requirements to get a judicial warrant in order to enter
Right.
private property because what? People seek asylum and get rejected? Like, how is that not infinitely more activist policy than rejecting the administration from getting a warrant?
And how does this not cause you any worry about what this could turn into in the future towards U.S. citizens generally? Like when law enforcement says, well, ICE is doing it, they don't need a judicial warrant. I can just use an administrative warrant. If we're not going to uphold it here, where is the line? Because they are law enforcement, but they're targeted towards undocumented immigrants, right? But what if, these other law enforcement on the federal level or even state level are seeing this and they decide to do their own because it's not being enforced? It's just administrative warrants are fine. Are you okay with that standard being upheld? Which is clearly a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Doesn't automatically violate the Fourth Amendment because courts have long recognized that agencies can conduct searches for, regulatory enforcement.
Look at court law. Look at SCOTUS. SCOTUS is literally determined that administrative warrants is not sufficient to search a home or commercial setting without consent or a judicial warrant. You need one or the other. You can't base it off of an administrative warrant. That's not sufficient to enter and search a residence.
Since we have a lawyer here, isn't it also the case that searches and seizures? Well, future lawyer. Isn't it the case that searches and seizures are per se unreasonable unless there's a judicial warrant? Isn't that also the case that we should take them as unreasonable until proven otherwise by an impartial magistrate? Isn't that the case?
That is the case. And also, there's this doctrine of fruit of the poisonous tree, and the doctrine definitely invokes the idea that if you unreasonably search someone's home, right, absent a judicial warrant, then any evidence collected following that illicit search is unusable. You can't use it in court. It's invalid. It becomes completely invalid. You have to completely drop it.
And also, isn't the chief case law about needing a warrant in order to enter a private entity, saying that the chief evil in which the 14th Amendment was written was to prevent from warrantless searches? Wasn't that the...
You know what, Riney, you're a straight A student. Exactly. I'm sorry if Fresh, you're getting a D. You're gonna have to take crim pro again.
I don't expect you guys to agree with me, but that's fine.
Well, no, because you're clearly, providing information that is wrong. We are using SCOTUS to back our claims, and
the sad thing is that you're not even. It doesn't even seem like you're denying that these administrative warrants are illegal against the Fourth Amendment. You're just saying that because people overstayed a visa or tried to seek asylum fraudulently, that justifies the government basically stomping on the Bill of Rights. It's so weird.
The Bill of Rights, that it's to prevent the government from infringing on the people.
If they switch entirely to judicial warrants and don't even use administrative warrants, then you guys have no qualms?
No, it's not that we don't have any qualms. It's that one of the most obvious clear qualms that none of the MAGA people are even taking account for goes away, right? But that doesn't change the fact that we sent a couple hundred people with no due process to a torture prison. It doesn't change the fact that we're arresting people based off of reasonable suspicion instead of probable cause. It doesn't change the fact that I don't even know why the fuck we're wasting all of this goddamn money for these mass deportations. It gets rid of one of the many problems with this Trump administration.
So, okay, do you even want the deportations at all?
These kind? No.
I mean, just general. Say it was by the book perfect, followed every single letter of the law to the last comma, period, everything. Would you still be okay with it?
It would be better. I'd probably be okay with it, but I don't think it's preferential to giving a pathway to citizenship. I think that's a way easier solution that costs way less money. And doesn't rely on this hypothetical impossible reality of the government keeping everybody's rights while deporting millions and millions and millions of people within 4 years, right?
So I think that's really the crux of where we disagree, because I think if you come into the country illegally, you get deported, period. No questions asked.
So here's the question. Why is that better than giving a pathway to citizenship?
Because all you're doing is you're incentivizing more people to continue doing the exact same thing. Come into the country illegally, and we'll just go ahead and give you citizenship anyway.
We acknowledge that right now we're just incentivizing the government to continue stomping on our rights by allowing them to get away with warrantless searches and illegal arrests and violations of due process and still defending the mass deportation efforts, right? I think that normalizes way worse behavior, right?
Also, I feel like it's similar justification as why we over-criminalize people in this country. It's we have to set the standard. What's going to make it, if we don't make people if we don't sentence this guy for 30 years, then everyone's going to think it's super fucking easy to get away with crimes, and then they'll just get a little slap on their hand and then they'll just move on with their life. No, we have an over-criminalization problem, and it passes down because we consistently hold this heightened standard that is unreasonable, and it doesn't show that things are changing as a result of setting higher bars to try to deter people from committing those crimes. That's not how it works. And also, it's just this notion that people are cognizant of these systems being lax. It's just I don't know. I just don't think it's as crazy as you think it is.
Also, just to be clear, There's no world where if a person is given the option to come here legally and come here illegally, that they choose illegally. All else equal. Like coming here legally offers you so much more rights, so much more benefits from the federal government. The idea that somebody would have an easy pathway to citizenship and still choose to come here illegally is just absurd. No, like it just relies on the idea that immigrants are like people with no rational thought.
You talked about giving them the pathway to citizenship, even if they came into the country illegally. So that's literally skipping the line.
But we're saying that we should change the system.
Yeah, I'm saying that it should be way easier to become a U.S. citizen.
Why?
Because there's no reason for it not to be. Like, why would I spend a fuck ton of money and violate a fuck ton of people's rights in order to get a bunch of these people out when I don't see a problem with immigration in general?
It literally has no negative impact on our economy. Actually, has more of a positive.
I'm sorry.
Has a complete positive impact on our economy, 100%.
It is certainly true, yeah.
No, basic
immigrants are net positive on
the
GDP.
country.
Can't say it's a net positive because nobody collects the data on how much federal money is spent on these people with IDs.
Oh yeah, there is. I can pull it up for you.
There 100% is, and immigrants are 100% a net positive on GDP in America.
We'd love to pull that up for you.
If an immigrant comes to the United States and they have a child, they automatically qualify for Section 8 welfare, food stamps.
Wait.
Okay, but you know that undocumented immigrants are not qualified for any of those federal level benefits?
If they have a child, right? If they have a child, that child is now
no,
a
that is
US
like
hold on, hold on. This is super important.
Claim on earth, because just because you have a child does not grant you citizenship. You still have to apply.
No, he's saying the children get the benefits, but we also acknowledge that the children
going to the bank and
wait,
cashing
wait, hold on,
wait, hold on. This is super important. This is super important. We acknowledge
are benefiting from
we acknowledge that the children.
You're not counting that money, and you're saying they're a net positive when that data is not collected.
Wait, you acknowledge that when we take into account the fiscal benefit of the children as well, that even further exasperates the idea that these people are a net positive, right? Like children are the children of illegal immigrants who have legal status are
the negative.
I'm telling you. Wait, stop. We're talking about the totality. We're talking about the totality. We're not talking about individual instances. Yes, in totality. In totality.
The positive and the negative.
Correct. The positives wildly outweigh the negatives because the positive effects of illegal the negative.
How much money is paid in welfare to people with children?
How much? Wait, what positive? Do you agree that there's like drastic amounts of positives that come from illegal immigrants' children because they're citizens and they contribute to the economy? Or do we just not want to talk about that?
$300 million a year, I can't tell you it's a net positive. If I spend $350 million.
No. I'm asking you. Do you acknowledge that these people's children they are a positive?
You can't balance a budget without showing the bills. What is the friggin' bill, dude?
Have you not seen the studies?
Show me how much they spend.
Hi, everyone. So this is the American Immigration Council, and they've calculated undocumented immigrants, how much undocumented immigrants' household income that goes, and this is their, state and local taxes, and then this is their federal taxes total. And they even break it down. They do it so well. I honestly really recommend looking at this.
With individual tax
I'm still talking. Yeah. I'm still talking. Thank you. Okay, cool. Anyway,
showing me what
when we look at immigrants as a whole, like in 2023, they brought in 1.7 trillion spending power. And it's interesting because, as you said, like, what about the federal benefits, right? Well, undocumented immigrants don't actually have, I'm just turning my camera. They actually don't have any access to SNAP. They don't have any benefits.
If they have a child that's considered a citizen, they become subsidized.
Tell me how many people are having children in the United States to access citizenship?
A lot.
Tell me a number. I've looked up stats twice now. I want you to do the same.
Okay, hold on.
So you still didn't show me how much they're spending. They don't collect that data. I've looked for it. So do you agree?
I did show you that data, but okay, I'll show you it again.
Come on.
I'll show you it again, Billy.
When an asylum seeker has a child, they are now eligible for welfare programs, federal welfare programs.
Okay.
No? You don't even want to talk about it?
I'm bringing the stats up. I like to back things up. So, okay.
So
When we look at this,
that when an asylum seeker has a child, they now qualify for federal welfare benefits.
I'm talking. Okay. Do undocumented immigrants qualify for SNAP? No.
Their children.
Do undocumented immigrants receive social security benefits? No. How much do they pay into healthcare benefits?
If I show you the law that says if they have a child that they can collect those benefits, will you take the W? I mean the L?
I just
I'm
sorry.
take the W.
What
you
is
don't
the?
want to understand?
Are you saying that they shouldn't?
Really hard.
Are you saying that they shouldn't?
That's what
I'm
I wanted to
saying
get
that
into. Are you
tell
saying
me
that the
they're
American
against-
citizens shouldn't be getting these benefits? Do you think American
telling
citizens?
you that you cannot tell me that the budget is positive unless you show me the negative.
Well, I'm
And
asking.
we
Do you think
subtract
it? Do you think it's a?
the positive?
Do you think it's a good thing that these American citizens are reaping the benefits of the American system? I think that's a good thing.
I'm really confused.
So you're gonna do anything but answer any of my questions.
You just don't care about whether or not it's a good policy or not. You just don't care about that.
You're trying to do something. It's called an appeal to emotion.
It's not an appeal. No, it's not an appeal to emotion. It's an appeal for a claim.
Bro's using the fallacy. Bro's using the fallacy. That's fucking hilarious.
I'm asking you to show me how much they cost. How much federal benefits do they collect when they have a child? Can you pull that up? Because that's
Wait,
what
I have a
been saying from the
question.
beginning. And
Do you know what the 14th Amendment is? Do you know what the 14th Amendment is?
About.
The 14th Amendment is where if you're born on U.S. soil, you become a citizen and you get access to certain benefits as a result of being a citizen. So if any individual born on U.S. soil, I'm speaking, if any U.S. citizen is, or any person born on U.S. soil, they become a natural born citizen and have access to those privileges, right?
Is Jews solely in the Constitution, or is that a SCOTUS ruling?
It's a 14th Amendment.
Can you show me Jews solely in the 14th Amendment?
Hold on, I have
Because
a
in
point.
Okay.
1884,
What?
Hold on.
You don't know the 14th Amendment? It literally starts
L.P.
off with
Wilkins,
Hold
the
on,
Supreme Court majority decision,
Yeah.
said that it would take an act of Congress to make a Native American an American citizen. Because
So, okay, 14th Amendment, Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States are subject to the
and under the
jurisdiction
jurisdiction
thereof,
of,
are citizens of the United States
which
wherein
is why
they
in
reside.
1884 the Supreme Court ruled Native Americans were not automatically American citizens.
Yeah,
It
that was
took an
part of
act
the
Congress
congressional
to make
debate.
them-
Yeah.
I'm still talking. It took an act of Congress, like Justice Gray, the majority
14th
opinion
Amendment.
said, right?
All persons
And
born or
look up
naturalized
L.P.
in the United
Wilkins,
States are
1884.
citizens of the
Look-
United
look up-
States.
Look up.
No, I'm not
L.P.
doing any other
Wilkins.
research than this.
I'm
14th
talking.
Amendment.
You
14th
keep interrupting
Amendment.
me.
14th
I'm so glad.
Amendment.
Can you-
14th Amendment. First section. First, like honestly, the beginning of it
L.P.
too.
Wilkins.
Yeah.
Are Native Americans automatically citizens?
That has no
What
bearing.
Native
on this.
Americans are not
What did the
automatically citizens
Supreme
because they're
Court
not
say
under
about
the
these
jurisdiction.
people?
We're telling you.
Right.
Native
They
Americans are
were
not
pretty
necessarily
much foreign.
citizens
They
because
were
they
very
are.
much considered foreigners, but they were born
Sure.
in American lands, right?
Yeah, but they're not
They were
under the
born in the
jurisdiction of the
Americas?
United States. Yeah.
Right. So these people that come over here that are not citizens, who can be expedited to their home country.
Those people
have a
are
child.
under the jurisdiction
Should
of the
their
United
child
States,
be
by the way.
A citizen, or
Yes.
should it take an act of Congress? Like
Yes,
SCOTUS said?
their child should be a citizen because they are under the jurisdiction of the
disagree.
United States. They are
See,
subject to
in
U.S. law.
1984,
You can
in
disagree, but wait.
Yeah,
you
you're
don't
just
have to
wrong.
tell you
Why I
disagree, but
disagree.
then you'll be disagreeing with the Constitution,
Also,
so you
just to
can
be-
just say you hate the Constitution.
Just to
I
be
am
super
not-
clear.
Like, just say you hate the Constitution.
Just to be
Just
super
say
clear.
it,
Wait, hold on.
honestly.
Just say you hate
Just
the
to take this back.
Constitution.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Just to take this back. So this is a study by Cato. 1994 to 2023. I'm just going to keep talking, by the way. 1994 to 2023. 1994 to 2023. 1994 to 2023. There was a deficit by illegal immigrants.
which allowed Indians or Native Americans to
No
become
one's contesting
citizens.
this. We all
In
agree with this. No one's
1884,
contesting this. We
L.P.
all agree with
Wilkins,
this. Nobody's
the
contesting
Supreme
this.
Court
Nobody's
said that
contesting
being
this.
born in the United States does not make you
You're
A
arguing
US
with
citizen.
ghosts.
Nobody is contesting this. Nobody is saying
are
that
the
Native
people disagreeing
Americans
with you in the room
are
right
full
now?
subject to our jurisdiction. Nobody's arguing this. So to go back to the point that was actually
Okay, so
contested,
how is someone
this is
not
a study.
citizen
This is
who
a
can be
study. This is
expedited?
a
You
study.
shut up.
This is a study on the fiscal surplus granted by
I was wondering the
immigrants.
same thing. Can you
Okay,
shut up?
1994
No, you
to
shut up.
2023, there was about a $10 trillion deficit caused by immigrants. There was about a $14 million interest caused by immigrants. So it seems like a $4 trillion-ish dollar.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
So it seems like there was about a $10 trillion deficit by oh wait, hold on. What is
In
the
1923?
1994 to 2023, about a $10 trillion deficit, about a $14 trillion interest in savings.
That's a net positive of 4 trillion.
It's a net positive. Net positive.
Cool.
So there we go. This is the mythical math that somehow you were never able to find that I found within like 5 minutes.
From a right-leaning source.
Yeah, true. Cato is a conservative institution.
How much
This
the
is true.
federal government pays to people with individual tax identification number.
Why does the IT? How much they pay with the ITN? Why does that even matter?
Because you can't. All right, when you balance your budget, you make a certain amount, and then you pay a certain amount in bills, right? How much are we paying for these people? I don't.
I'm literally telling you. The study is literally. I literally just told you.
No, I want you to show me.
I literally just told you. Go read the study.
No, you're telling me. Look, we can see this number and that number and subtract it, but you're not telling me how much is being spent.
Go read the study.
Everything that you've said so far is trust me, bro. While we're the only ones showing facts.
You haven't shown me one.
Go read the study. Go read the Cato study. Go read the Cato study.
I showed you the 14th Amendment when you said that there was no such thing as natural born citizenship. So
I hate to be this guy. I hate to be this guy. Google's free, buddy. You can go read the study that I just cited you.
What,
I am.
Repeat that.
Google is free. You can go read the study I just cited you.
I'll go look it up. What website shows me how much we pay to people with an individual tax identification number?
It's the Cato study. It just came out February 3rd, 2026. It's called Cato Study. Immigrants reduce deficits by 14 trillion since 1994.
That's not telling me how much federal money is being spent.
Go Google it, big dog. What do you want from me? You can Google stuff. I believe in you. You're not that old. You can do it. You can Google it.
I've Googled this for a long time.
You can do
that
it.
That does not exist. I have done it. It doesn't
For a long
exist.
time. It came out February 3rd. For those of you who can't do math, that's 8 days ago.
So just
God, thank you. I didn't know.
Let's just go through like the basic economics of this. Do you agree that illegal immigrants will provide demand for the economy? Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
We see that it's not true in California.
So immigrants do not provide demand. They do not buy goods. That's what you're telling me?
I'm telling you that California needs to build 180,000 houses. They only build 90.
That's not what I asked you.
They import 132,000.
I said, do you acknowledge that immigrants provide demand? Wait, if they bought, you acknowledge
providing the right services that we need.
Wait, I'm sorry.
That's adding to the
Is that what I asked?
Maybe they pick a lot of fruit. Maybe they do a lot of construction jobs.
Do you like hear the words coming out of his mouth?
Okay, so by the way, this person is trying to talk to me about econ. He just said these people pick a lot of fruit. That's supply, big dog. That's not demand. Do you agree that illegal immigrants increase demand because they buy goods? This should be a pretty easy question. This should be a pretty easy answer.
It still doesn't tell me how much they cost the economy.
Wow.
You've been negating
do you agree with that?
The federal government pay people with individual.
I'm just asking you basic economic questions. You agree that they increase
you one
supply,
data
right?
set that you can't give me.
That you can
You're
Google. You can Google.
master,
I believe in you. I believe in you. I cited you a study. It wasn't good enough, so go look it up, buddy. Now I'm going to ask you my questions because you just sitting up here prattling about a data point that you can't find. I don't know what
federal money is spent on people with.
This is not how conversations work.
If you want to economic master, if you can't even balance a book.
Google it. Google it. I hate to break it to you. Google
it. He might not know how to
Cato
type.
study between 1994 and what?
1994 and 2023. It was a $14 trillion budget increase or budget saving. Took him that long to even know that you need to leave TikTok in order to Google something? That's crazy.
Isn't that
I think he was
yeah.
driving, to be 100% fair.
Hi, Noah.
Hi, Noah.
Dot, how you doing? Hi, guys. Good to see you.
Good to see
It's
you,
so
buddy.
good to see you.
Sorry, I'm
Just
kind
out
of
here walking to the gym.
I'm kind of dominating the conversation. I'm sorry, guys. I just
No,
I
it's
think
fine.
I feel bad. I thought I was at
You're
first.
talking a lot and you're not answering my question, but
yeah, because your question
you
is
need to
irrelevant.
research.
I'm asking you very basic economic questions, and you just can't engage with them. So you just keep prattling on about the same question that you've asked a billion times, and I answered, but you don't like it because it wasn't specific enough. So I'm just encouraging you to Google it, and we can move on. If you find anything that contradicts anything that I'm saying, you can go and look it up. Okay? But
And
since
also,
you
I had to
don't
show
have
you the
anything that
14th
contradicts
Amendment.
anything, I would just like to ask, you agree that that illegal immigrants provide demand in an economy, right? You agree with that?
I think that's a basic question. Yes.
It is an incredibly basic question. I just want to make sure that we're living in the same reality that illegal immigrants buy
I
stuff.
just want to be sure how much they're
Yeah, I
actually
mean, they
paying
needed.
for it.
Everyone
How
needs
much
to
is
buy
the
shit.
federal government paying for it? And how much
I
are they
literally
paying
cited
for
you the
it?
study. If you disagree with the study, go read it.
Or you can also
I don't know
look
why you're
at
talking to me if you
the
if you
studies
don't.
that I provided that literally show more of a net positive.
Like, what are we doing?
Either
I mean, they're
resources
funneling money
cite
into
how
a
much it
system that they have
costs.
no return on, especially as an undocumented immigrant.
It's like, hey, look, these illegal immigrants pay taxes, but okay, how much do they spend?
I showed you.
I literally told you
Oh
$10
my
trillion deficit. Where do you think that comes from?
Show me how much they bring in. Neither of
No,
you
I
showed
didn't.
me.
I
Yes,
told you
I
$10
did.
trillion
No,
deficit.
you didn't.
We
Yes,
literally
I
told
literally. Oh my god,
Wait,
I'm
hold
pulling
on.
it back up. I swear
Wait,
to
just
God.
to be clear, I don't know if I'm being gaslit. When I read the results of the Cato study, I did say $10 trillion deficit, right? I did
I
include
showed
that.
you guys how much they brought in, right? And their
Yep.
spending power. Am I
Yeah,
crazy?
and I brought up the deficit that they have with the Cato study, right? I said 10 trillion. I did say that, right?
I feel like I'm losing my mind with
I
this,
think
man.
he may not know what deficit means. So to put it in more
True.
layman's
yeah, sorry.
terms, to put it in more layman's terms,
Deficit would be
immigrants. Wait, I'm still
revenue
talking.
and
He's still
spending.
talking.
So
Yeah,
what we're talking
you're not
about.
proving anything.
So
'Cause I
what we're
just told you
talking
what a
about
deficit
is
and
is
you're just totally
immigrants
ignoring it because all you
immigrants
want to do
use.
is insult me.
Shush,
Right?
just give me a second. Just
A
give me a second. Just give me
deficit
a
is the
second.
difference between the revenue and the spending, right? Then you can end your
Yes.
fucking
So
stupid talking down to
so
me
they
conversation.
no, I'm gonna
Oh,
talk
good for
down to you because you're
you.
speaking.
Go ahead.
So
I just told you what a deficit is. You still don't believe that I know
awesome.
what it is.
So their deficit is 10 trillion. Their budget surplus is 14 trillion. Therefore, it's a net surplus of 4 trillion. So they're using up 10 trillion. They're giving back 14 trillion. Does that answer the question? Is it simple enough to understand? Now can we move on to do immigrants
It says
buy stuff?
Yeah,
$3
now can
trillion,
we move on?
right? Does it say how much they spent?
Yeah, so I found it right here. It's $1.7 trillion of spending power.
What does that
That they provide. Yeah.
That they provide, yes.
So
He's asking how much do they cost? I've already told you 10 trillion. No one just told you too. 10 trillion. I don't know how many times we need to say it.
I don't see 10 trillion on that Cato study.
Then look harder. It's there. I don't know what to tell you. When you go to the graph, it's that little orange part.
And also, if you break it down to like different like areas, like housing spending power, like they bring in 6.6 trillion.
That's why I was trying to ask him the demand, but we can't conceive that illegal immigrants buy stuff until we know the specifics about how much benefits they get through their ITN. We can't. Who knows?
And they even break it down into DACA eligible populations, like how much total spending power that they have. Like DACA is 35 billion, and they do refugees 83.8 billion for spending power.
So here's the issue with your study. It's including legal immigrants.
No, I'm on a different website as from what he gave you. I'm on the American Immigration Council.
The Cato studies, including people.
I'm on a different study.
Well, he's
what
asking.
study are you on?
I'm on the American Immigration Council.org.
All right, and what does it say?
It goes, if you look at the immigrants in the United States, and it's a graph, and if you just look at the, I don't even know how you get there. It's map.americanimmigrationcouncil.org. That should probably get you there. And they break it down.
Immigrants.
Huh?
Does it include visa holders, work visas, etc.?
They actually break it down into undocumented immigrants. They even look at international students even. They even break it down to DACA eligible. They break it down into refugees. They break it down to even temporary protected status holders. So they go into everything individually.
You want to tell me those stats for the undocumented?
Yeah, and I showed you it before, which is that the undocumented household income, 388.8 billion, the total spending power, 299 billion, state and local taxes paid, 33.9 billion, federal taxes paid, 55.8 billion, total taxes paid, combine those two together, 89.8 billion.
Okay, also, just to be clear, I'm so sorry. This study also says illegal immigrants likely reduce the deficit by 1.7 trillion.
Yep.
That's from the Cato study as well. Let's come on, lock in.
Lock in.
Yeah, your Cato study includes all visa holders.
No, there's a separate part where it goes over illegal immigrants. There's a separate part that goes over illegal immigrants.
You're crazy.
Because asylum seekers get to stay here for 10 years on appeals and everything.
What?
And about 60% don't actually qualify for asylum. Those are the people I'm concerned about.
All right, well, let's just read through the study because apparently Big Dog can't read. The current population survey data on which this report is primarily based do not specifically record whether somebody has legal status in the United States, and the survey sample of non-citizens is not sufficient to reliably estimate the number of illegal immigrants indirectly. However, given that low-skilled non-citizens are fiscally beneficial, illegal immigrants likely are as well. Nonetheless, to provide a more specific estimate, we could use illegal immigrant eligibility for benefits that apply outside estimates of the illegal immigrants' populations at education, income, and assumed tax compliance to piece together a directionally accurate, if imprecise, calculation of the fiscal effects from 1994 to 2023. Many illegal immigrants employed under borrowed or stolen identities have taxes withheld by employers and are less likely to file returns to claim their refunds. The appendix provides a more detailed explanation, but after accounting for their lower income and lower tax compliance, the available data indicates that illegal immigrants pay individual income and payroll taxes about 67% LOL percent of the average rate of compliance, either through withholding or filing tax returns. They also directly or indirectly pay property taxes, corporate taxes, sales taxes, excise taxes, and many state fines and fees. Illegal immigrants were generally ineligible for government benefits, with the following exceptions: school lunch, special supplemental nutritional program for women, infants, and children, WIC, workers' compensation, public K through 12 education, the earned income tax credit before 1996, the child tax credit before 2017, local shelter services in 2023, emergency Medicaid, and regular Medicaid in a few states, but only recently with narrow eligibility. It is likely that illegal immigrants are less likely to apply for benefits for which they qualify, but for our estimate, we assume that the same per capita use as non-citizens with the same level of education. All of these states and federal eligibility restrictions are strictly enforced, but to account for fraud and unusual situations in which a non-citizen can lack status but temporarily be deemed lawfully present for purposes of benefits, we assign illegal immigrants 5% of the relevant non-citizen level for all ineligible benefit programs. Even if illegal immigrants use benefits at the same exact rate as all non-citizens, they would still be on average fiscally beneficial to the United States, both by reducing the debt in real time and by lowering debt to GDP ratio. Do we want to keep reading, or
so they, even if they use the same level as
the
us,
same
it's still
amount,
a
they would
net?
be a fiscal benefit.
Even if they sorry, dude, you're kind of interrupting. Wait, I just need to clarify. Even if they use, I'm just confused. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So even if they, no, I'm not done. No, I'm not done. So even if they use the same level,
You
Even
just
if they
keep
use
talking.
Yeah,
I was quiet the whole time he spoke.
I'm just
I
asking
would
a
like to
clarifying
rebuttal.
question because I just want to make sure
Good.
everyone
Are you
understands.
asking him or me?
I'm asking Riney, not you. Riney.
Yeah.
So if they spend the same, if they use the benefits at the same level as citizens, it's still a net positive?
Yep.
Wow.
And assume that it's likely, right? Can you
No,
explain
it's actually
what that
assumed to
means,
be
that
unlikely,
verbiage?
like he said.
No, that's not what he said.
Yeah, it is.
He said that it's likely that it's at the same rate.
No, what?
Can you
No.
tell me what the verbiage likely?
Oh my
No.
God.
No.
Can you tell me what the word likely means?
All of these state and federal eligibility restrictions are strictly enforced, but to account for fraud and unusual situations in which a non-citizen can lack status but temporarily be deemed lawfully present for purposes of benefits, we assign illegal immigrants 5% of the relevant non-citizen level for ineligible benefit program. It's saying that like 5%. It's not nearly the same level. What are we talking about?
5% from.
Read the studies.
All right. Where did the study make that 5% up?
Go read it. I'm not going to read through this fucking 200-page study with you, big dog. Go read it.
I can't believe he heard exactly what you said and came out with that response. That's crazy.
Defend it, right?
I'm not going to hold your hand and read a 200-page study to you, big dog. I believe in you. Your bifocals probably aren't inhibiting you that much. You could probably go and read the study. It's not that hard.
Your own study said likely a bunch of times.
True. It also said the a bunch of times. What are we proving?
Likely means that we are assuming.
They said it. They said it was likely that it wouldn't be the case,
So
but they are assuming.
Pulled up a study that says they're assuming. It doesn't prove anything to me. If we pay federal dollars to people with iTunes, it would be very easy to log that data.
Real quick,
correct?
would you say it's likely I'm alive right now?
Terrible question, by the way. Hate to break it to you.
Like Rinnycast said, it's likely Noah exists. Would that mean like just because he said it's likely? Like Rinnycast's never met me in person, so he doesn't actually know if I exist.
No, the problem is that he is correct. These are going based off of estimates. The problem is that if we can't go off of anything, I would rather go off of estimates than nothing, right? And what you have provided in this conversation is what? What have you provided in this conversation?
Actual data logged.
Oh, right? Can you provide it?
It's not logged. I've been telling you, like,
weird. Whoa, crazy. Okay, so what are you providing?
The United States government does not log the data on how much we give in federal dollars to people with individual tax identification numbers.
Wait, so can you find anything? Can you find anything that estimates that illegal immigrants are taking more benefits?
Sir, if we don't know how much we spend on them, we can't say that they're a net negative or a net positive, correct?
We literally can. We have estimates.
Estimates. Where are they getting these estimates from?
Go read the study. Can you not read?
So you're citing a study that you haven't read.
You haven't read it either. I'm asking you. I'm telling you, go read it.
I'm telling you that they don't collect that data, and you're telling me there's studies that show it, and then you're showing me a study.
I'm telling you studies.
That says likely
yes.
A bunch of times.
Yes.
And estimates a bunch of times, right?
You're acting like we
would it be for the federal government to just tell us how much money is being spent on people with an individual tax identification number? Should that number be logged? Don't you think that's pertinent information?
Sure. Why isn't Trump doing it?
Especially when we're making the claim that they're a net positive.
I agree that it could be pertinent information. The problem is, I agree that it could be pertinent. The problem is that you're not providing it. You're just asking me questions that you should be asking your fucking local congressperson. I'm telling you the estimates. You're rejecting them for no reason.
You're making a claim where you don't have all the data.
We're using estimates.
We have more data to back our claims than for you to have.
Using estimates, they don't mean shit to me.
Then
they don't mean shit to you because you're just like vaguely,
claim.
you're just anti-intellectual.
Is that we can't say they're a net negative or a net positive unless we have all the data. You're telling me that we do have the data.
So
you're citing.
We're just going to ignore all of the economic theory. We're just going to ignore. We're just going to ignore all of the economic theory. We're just going to ignore all of the economic theory. We're just going to ignore all of the estimates. We're going to ignore all of the studies that have been done on this.
To be clear, there's also been a goalpost shift. It was originally him saying that they were a net negative, And then once he realized that that isn't defensible, he
never said
changed
it
it
was in
to
the
we can't
negative.
know.
You said you can't.
True, he did say that.
No, you just shifted the goalpost,
I
but
can.
it's okay.
Fine. If I said that,
No,
I
thank
can
you for
see.
saying that,
I
because he
can't
did do
say they're a
that.
net negative. But can you concede that you can't say they're a net positive?
I can say that
No.
they're a net positive based
No.
on
Then
the
show me
surrounding
exact
facts.
figures. How much do we exactly spend?
Why? Okay.
Without using estimates and likelies.
Could you tell me that you made
can't.
money? Can you tell me that you made money over the span of your lifetime?
Why are you pivoting?
I'm asking you a question. Can you tell me you've made money over the span of your
Why
lifetime?
are you pivoting?
Down to the cent. How much money have you made throughout your entire lifetime?
Answer it.
Answer it. Or else you can't say whether or not you've ever made money.
He
And
probably
if you can't answer it down to the exact cent, you've never made money ever in your life.
Yeah, you're lying. You're homeless.
Positive.
I think you're homeless.
Okay, I'm a moderator. I'm going to exercise my expert abilities. All right, this guy is just he's got nothing to offer. It's just so sad.
I hate him.
Bad. I'm not even an econ guy, by the way. It would have been so easy to fucking rail me on that. Okay.
I know.
He just didn't do it. I'm not even an econ guy.
You should have started the what's it called, counter.
What about his counter? I think Jordan's gone.
Good night, Jordan.
This is basically just my live right now, I think.
True, based in Rinnycast pills.
That was crazy.
I had
Wait,
fun.
Rinnycast, am I in frame?
Your butt is.
Yeah, your butt is.
Or am I being frame mogged by an ASU frat leader?
You're being frame mogged by an ASU frat leader.
Wait, put me right above his head, and I'm gonna put up a funny.
Also,
photo.
just to be clear, I am, by the way, I am live streaming on YouTube. Okay, I should be sure we all do that. Okay.
That guy was crazy.
I agree, but I was so desperate for any sort of fucking debate. I've been fiending. All right. I can't go on conservative panels anymore because they just spam mute, and that's all they can really do.
Honestly, I've given up with that, especially when they're starting to go crazy anti-Semitic. Or
dude, I've had so many fucking white nationalist debates over the past little bit. I don't know why.
True.
Oh my god, Noah, you missed it. Oh my god, both of you missed it. I was on a debate with a Native American guy who was a Nazi or Schnazi.
I heard you talking about it to Poutine.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
That's pretty wild, yeah.
That's pretty wild.
I never thought, you know.
Wait, was he a neo-Schnazi or a straight-up Schnazi?
Oh, he just thought we should not be here. We control the media. We eat children.
Okay, neo-Schnazi.
Neo-Nazi.
They use the Epstein shtick, you know, that we're connected in some fucking, I don't know.
Mossad.
Yeah, in my brain, the difference between a neo-Nazi and a Schnazi is just like the level in which they go to like take care of the Jewish question. Like the Schnazis will be like, we gotta unalive all of them, and the neo-Nazis will just be like, we gotta get them out of our country.
I feel like the economic, like the emphasis on economics is also a pretty big distinction. Like neo, I'm just gonna call them neos. Neos don't seem to care almost at all about economic organization. But the original German party definitely did.
Like, what's his name who used to come onto our lives all the time? Whatever happened to that one guy? Did we just like mog him so hard that
who are
he
we
like
talking
stopped
about?
coming onto our lives? What was his name? That one like Philbro white nationalist.
Am I tripping? Am I forgetting about war?
He used to come onto our lives all the time. You definitely know him.
Onto mine? It's not RC, right?
No, not RC. What was this guy's name? I can like visualize his profile picture. I have one more. Yeah. Yeah, one more. Well, I have one more with the rope. Yeah. Sorry. You know how the gym beat, but
yeah. I'm missing lore.
If I remember his name, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a different shift, I think, now with like this like white nationalist bullshit or neo shit. I mean, like, it's so weird. People that even are kind of leaning are like using the Epstein files to bring out their like hate towards Jews.
Dude, there's a lot of anti-Semitism on the left right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The only people more anti-Semitic than the left is the right.
True.
True.
But it's just like crazy. Even in liberal lives, I feel unsafe sometimes.
Bro, I would.
Coyote is
I
just
hate
like
to.
hoping in the comments. Holy shit.
Good.
He's like
loser.
mad. He's super mad.
At this rate, I'm surprised he can spell. Yeah, dude. I mean, like, this is gonna sound callous, and I'm sorry, but I would not want to be a Jew right now.
Valid.
And it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with them. It's nothing wrong with them. You know, it's just it's definitely not the most free and welcoming environment in the world right now for those kind of people.
No. So. Oh my god. Even on the left, it's actually kind of crazy.
It's crazy. That what's
my
the
background noise ever gets too high, you could just mute me.
Okay, well do.
That's fine.
Has Lucas told you the obligatory horseshoe theory story?
No.
About how
horseshoe theory. Let's hear it.
He made he made a post about how anti-Semitism is cringe and outdated or whatever, and it was meant to poke at like the Groypers and the Nick Fuentes people, and instead it was a bunch of like pro-pallies that got in the comment section and started going crazy on him.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was like, dude, this wasn't even for you.
No, it's crazy.
Pro-Palestine's getting strays. I do not condone these people, okay? I don't claim them.
I condemn.
Well, you guys know I condemn them. I was trying to think, like, if I had the opportunity to talk to Hassan, like, what would it be better for me to talk about? Would it be better for me to talk about Kaya? Would it be better for me to talk about like how
God, not Kaya, not Kaya. Oh my God, not Kaya. It's not Kaya.
Would he? Should I talk about how scared he is of Mr. Stephen Benelli Stein?
No, that's don't be a cuck, okay? Like,
well, it's not like I'm going to be talking to Hassan anytime soon. Or would it be like the history of Israel? Because God knows he doesn't know that. But I think what it came down to is I should just keep spam asking him if he acknowledges the Armenian genocide, because I know he doesn't.
Wow, that's weird.
That would be
the real thing to spam is, do you endorse the Democratic leader against JD Vance? That's the real question.
Well, he already said no today.
Oh, well, just ask him again.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was asked today if he was voting in the 2028 election between a Gavin Newsom and JD Vance presidency, like who he would vote for, and he goes, "Oh, third party."
Pathetic. What a fucking loser.
Loser. He wants to lose.
Genuinely,
yeah, like he didn't even say like I'll think about it. He didn't even say like, oh, I'm not gonna say. He just straight up said third party.
I just hope Gavin Newsom doesn't run. I feel like it's not gonna be good. You'll hate him.
Gavin Newsom.
I want Kamala Harris to be the
cringe.
nominee.
That's cringe.
No, please, God, no. I don't want to see that Twitter account again. It's already posting cringe. Please.
Yeah, I'm super good on another Kamala run, if I'm being honest. Like woman power and everything, but not Kamala. I'm good.
I mean, like, I just want like someone that's winnable. Like, find just some old white dude that's like all progressive, like Bernie Sanders.
Give me.
Let's get Hillary Clinton again. Fuck it, why not?
I want Hillary.
No, I don't know.
By the way,
Hillary is like a fucking charisma black hole. Give me Bashir.
I'm joking.
By the way,
I'm fucking joking.
Give me
I
Bashir.
want all of you to know for the future, for the primaries, I will be a single issue voter if anyone brings this up. If anyone brings up a Nuremberg 2.0 will be happening, a single issue voter, I'll vote for them in the primary.
Heard.
Like on God, if they say like we are going to enact some sort of Nuremberg 2.0, I will be voting for them in the primary.
Like against the Trump admin?
Yes, that's the.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna be a single issue voter with that too.
That being said, I don't think anyone will like straight up bring that up. So
no. Oh my God, why would they? That would be.
Yeah, it's unlikely I'll ever have to resort to the single issue voting. But if I were to ever be a single issue voter,
Oh. Why does my audio receiver keep doing this? Oh.
We lost me in a room.
Okay. Sorry, we're locked
A
in.
rubber room. A rubber room with grass.
All right.
I don't know where Jordan's at realistically, but could definitely use a
I think he's
restart
asleep.
at some point. If he's
I've
wait,
got a-
how if he's asleep, what does he do? You just leave it on all night?
I guess until you
Allegedly.
end it.
Yeah, I want to bounce around lives.
Okay.
Wait. Before then, Richard Spencer uncle or Nick Fuentes nephew?
Fuentes' nephew. At least he's funny.
Okay. Dot, your
I don't
opinion?
know enough about Richard Spencer.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Do you-
I
Richard
know Nick
Spencer,
Fuentes.
I don't like
the white
Fuentes either.
nationalist.
Okay,
I
hold
hate
on.
him.
Hold on. Let me make sure that I'm disavowing enough. Okay, I don't like Fuentes either. Okay, I disavow. I just like him better than Richard Spencer.
Wait, I'm the
Oh
only.
yeah,
no,
he's
I'm kidding.
hilarious.
I've actually never really like dived deep into like Fuentes.
Fuentes is
He's
just
a character.
he's somebody that is just hyper conspiratorial thinking. That's like basically all it is. That's why I'm super against like conspiratorial thinking in general, is because I think it just leads you to shit like that. Like,
Oh
He's
my god,
the
wait, Briney. Today, did you hear Pam Bondi bring up the FCPA?
no, I'm gonna watch the testimony after this live probably.
Honestly, so I started like I think 30 minutes late, but I watched the rest of it. It was a long, like I think I watched like at least 4.5 hours at least. But she brought it up when someone was asking about the Epstein files. She was like, "Well, actually, this administration cares so much about the, like eliminating Democrats like fraud, and that's why we paused the FCPA and no longer like enforce it or something."
Bro, why?
Bro, I was trying to clip that. Like, I was like, because I was just listening to it in the background. I'm like, holy shit, I need to fucking clip that. Because, oh my god, there was like 2 MAGA debates I had that they were like, no, the news says it was never paused. It's still enforced, blah, blah, blah.
Wasn't there like
Yeah.
actual? Didn't he sign an executive order explicitly pausing
Yeah, well,
it?
he did. Yeah, it's just like so stupid.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the. I'm kind of concerned. I almost feel bad for leaving the live because I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't.
Do you have his
I feel
number?
like just leave. No, I don't got anybody's number. I'm not giving any of you fuckers my number. Okay.
Ronnie, give me your number.
No, I'm not.
Ronnie, what's your name and social security number?
Chat, is this
not getting
Riz?
not getting any of that.
No?
It can't be Riz. We're both taken.
True.
It's not allowed to be Riz.
Debate Riz. I don't know.
I just want to dox you, that's all.
Dude, fucking you
Riz.
you and everybody in the coalition apparently. God damn.
I wanna swat you.
I swear, sometimes it feels like it. I swear to God.
That's funny.
So what's your name?
Let me swat you, Uwu.
This is Riz.
Oh my god.
All of us have significant others, but this is Riz.
Wait, hold on. I do not.
So
I mean, all of us as in Dot, me, and Rinnycast.
Damn. Otherization happening, bro.
Golly.
Separate but equal.
True.
Damn. Okay, wait, hold on. We should probably chill out, all right? This is not our live. Okay.
Oh, that's so true. Oh, Lucas is in the live.
Oh, yay! My goat. Maybe he'll
My
know what to do
favorite
about
spice man.
like, should I DM? I have Jordan like added on Discord. Should I DM him? Oh,